How many of you remember the 90s television show Friends, featuring Joey, Ross, Chandler, Fifi, and the rest of the gang? Shows like this in the 90s depicted what friendships can look like. A group of people coming together and becoming each other's everything. Armchair counselor, psychologist, best friend, lover, right? And this type of story built up a narrative in our lives, a narrative that many of us have sought after, only to have it destroyed by narcissistic abuse. And it's causing us to reassess and relook at what friendships and relationships truly are. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. And before I get into this message about friendships, I want to let you know that I am here for your support. Those of you who are struggling through toxic relationships right now, I do take one-on-one appointments. Down in the description box below this message, you'll find access to my calendar where you can schedule one-on-one time with me. Now then, the biggest pain of narcissistic abuse is not always because of the narcissistic person. It's not necessarily just the person that's cussing you out, calling you names, and acting all shades of weird on you. Part of the biggest pain is how it affects all of your relationships. When you start seeing sides being created, when it seems like people who you thought always cared for you are not standing up for you, aren't even showing that they care for you. This is when a narrative that you've had all of your life about what friendships are, about what people mean and represent in your life, this is when that narrative just collapses. This is part of the real pain that you are dealing with. What's really happening is this narrative is going down and you're going to be forced to rebuild an understanding of what relationships mean, what relationships really are, what friendships really are. Friendships look nothing like what it looked like on the story of Friends. And a lot of people will look to even the Bible and say Jesus had one group of friends that was everything. Wait a minute. Jesus had the disciples, but let's keep in mind, Jesus did not have all the needs that you have and I have. Jesus was mission-oriented. He had one goal, one mission, one purpose. And what was that? To just walk and teach. That's it. He didn't require sex. He didn't require going out and clubbing. He didn't require a counselor. He didn't have the needs that you and I have. So we cannot look at the story of Jesus and his disciples and say, well, we need a big group of friends. That's our everything, because Jesus didn't need everything. So that does not count. So let's talk about your needs, my needs, and how we need to better understand what friendships really are. We can gain a lot of understanding from the ancient world. All right. And I've made this point before. They categorized relationships and friends based on the emotional attachment. This is why they had words such as agape. When you have agape for a person, this is charitable love between two people. Then you have words like eros. Eros represents passion, sex, that type of stuff. Why? Because this is a human need. Now, the reason they had these all separate in the ancient world is because they're kind of ahead of us in this understanding. They realize that different people in your life are going to have different connections. So what I want to do in this message is I want to simplify it even further for us, for you and for me. If you want, you can go and look at the Greek words, the 7 different types of relationship bonds. But I want to simplify it into 4, okay? 4 that you and I need to rebuild the narrative of placing people in our lives in the right spot, okay? There's 4. The first group of people we're going to talk about are people who really care for you. And even the people who really care for you are going to have limitations as to your interaction with them, okay? The second group of people we're going to talk about are going to be people who don't really care about you, okay? The third group of people we're going to talk about are people who hate you. Yeah, there are people who hate you, people who hate me. Fourth group of people we're going to talk about are angels, people who temporarily show up at a time of desperate need. First group of people, people who really care about you. Who are these people? This might be a parent. It might not be a parent, okay? It might be a husband. It might be a wife. It might be a best friend that you've had for a long time, somebody who you kind of even maybe take for granted. You know they care about you and you don't really pay them that much attention. This person who really cares about you is not in your life to be a counselor necessarily, not in your life to be a lover necessarily, but is there for you, has your back, is supportive of you. They'll give you the shirt off their back. They really care for you. Ideally, this is the image, by the way, of marriage. This is what this unified relationship looks like. Now watch, there's limitations. This person can't be your counselor. You have to be careful not to lean too much on this person because they don't know how to help you. A lot of times we get messed up in a toxic relationship because we start dumping all of our hurts and traumas onto a person who really cares for us, and they don't know what to do with it. They start maybe giving you bad advice, or it seems like they don't care. Really, they do. They just don't know how to help you. Doesn't mean they don't care for you. It just means they don't know how to help you, okay? But typically, there's just one or two or three of these people in your life who really care about you. So be careful not to put too much on these people. Let these people love you the best way that they can, all right? That's the first group. The second group of people that you're going to have in your life are going to be those who don't care about you. These are people who typically, by the way, narcissistic people surround themselves with. This is the entourage. This is the quantity of people over the quality of people. These are people who show up because of the social aspects. These are the people who cause a lot of damage as a result of narcissistic abuse because they scatter like bugs the moment shit goes down. You're experiencing trauma, you're having a difficult time with a narcissistic person, and these people are like, oh, I'm out of here, or I'm on their side, or I'm on that. And suddenly you're like, wait, I thought you cared about me. No, they never genuinely cared about you. They only liked you in as much as you were a warm body of excitement to be around. These are the people you go out and drink with. These are the people you tell dumb jokes with. They don't really care about you. They just want to have a good time. And if that stops happening, if you and the narcissistic person break up, they're gone. They were only there because of the warm bodies and the warmth of the social aspect. These are acquaintances. You definitely can't lean on them in times of need, okay? The next group of people that you're going to have in your life are people who hate you. And these are people who just flat out hate you for one reason or another. It could be because you're bald. It could be because of the color. It's sad, but that's the world that we live in, right? Happens. It could be because you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. Therefore, there's going to be people who hate you. It could be because you're a creative person, you're a singer, you're a movie maker, you're whatever. There are hateful people out there who are going to hate you. So obviously, you know how to categorize those people, right? If you understand and just accept it, then you'll learn how to walk past these people in life and not lean on them at all for anything. Okay? Learn to shrug them off. The fourth group of people, fourth category, are going to be the angels. Angels are going to show up in your life for a season, for a temporary moment. It might be to give you money. It might be to give you an encouraging word. It might be the royal we right now speaking to you. A temporary moment at a time when you need it. A counselor, a psychologist, somebody who's going to help you walk through a difficult moment. That's an angel. Somebody who shows up at a time of need. That's an angel. And you'll never drink with them. You'll never have, it's not going to be that type of relationship. It's just going to be that help. Listen, what we need to understand is that we have to categorize our relationships. This is what narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships does. It causes you to rebuild the narrative of a healthier understanding that relationships need to be placed in their proper place. Friendships, there's no such thing as one group of friends that's going to be your everything. You're going to have to be able to categorize so you know who's who and what those limitations are. One of the most challenging things we have in this life is to figure out who goes into what category in our life. And to be able to be okay with that, accept it. All right? Listen, I'm here for your support, those of you who are struggling through toxic relationships right now. If you need to further understand how to categorize people in your life, I'm here to help you walk through that. I'm here to help you on this healing journey. Down below in the description box, you'll find access to my calendar, telephone calls, WhatsApp, FaceTime, video calls. It's all available for you down below. Also, Monday night is Royal We Life Chat. Click the link down below. Saturday morning is Royal We Fellowship. Click that link for fellowship every Saturday morning down below as well. And I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Royal We.